Welcome to part 2 of building the sticky navigation. In this video, we'll use jQuery to make this sticky navigation work the way we want it. So, in order to do that, we use a simple jQuery plugin which is called waypoints. And waypoints is an easy way to trigger a function when we scroll to an element, which is exactly what we want. So I will start downloading it and including it in our project. So here it is, and extract it. And well, this comes with a bunch of stuff actually, but the file that we want is this one here, jQuery waypoints and a small version. So I will copy it and OmniFood and vendors, because this time it is a JavaScript file that we got from the internet. It's not our own file. And actually I think it's time to delete this old stuff here. We don't need anymore. And this as well. Okay, so we have a nice clean folder structure here. And I'm now going to include this in our project so that we don't forget it. So we come down here. And I'll put it here. So as before, script, and now it's vendors, JS, and here we go. So our own script is always the last one here. We need to ensure that this is the last script we call. So let's go to the Waypoints website and take a look at how this works. So here in jQuery, and this is here the way that we want to use this. And here is actually kind of a demo. So we scroll and then some stuff happens on the website, right? So I will now go ahead and copy this snippet here so that we can see how waypoints should be used with jQuery. I will put it here in a comment, and you see the comment in jQuery are done the exact same way as we do in CSS. So, how do we want this to work? Let's go back to our web page. And the thing is, we want this to appear, so we want the sticky navigation to appear each time we scroll to this element here, right? So we want it to be hidden here, and we want it to appear once we come to this section. Alright, so the first step is to actually select this section in jQuery. So we already know how to do that with this selector, and now we need a class name, such as in CSS. And now the section is this one, and we could go ahead and just use this class name, but we want a cleaner separation here between the CSS and the JavaScript and the jQuery in this case. So we don't want to mix up these two things, so we will create a separate class for JavaScript. So this is much cleaner, and if you have bigger projects, it will become easier to manage this way. So section and futures, and here we have two dashes, so to separate this name from this name in a better way. So I will select this in the script. Can actually just close these two. Alright, and now this is where our waypoints plugin comes in. So now we have the waypoint method here, and this is how it works, such as it's down here. So function, and then this function has an argument called direction. And what this direction means is that we can actually detect if the user is scrolling down the web page or if he's scrolling up. And we will take now a decision based on this parameter here. So if you're new to programming, we have a thing in programming in all major programming languages which is called the if construct, and what the if does is very simple. So if something is true, then a certain thing will happen, and if it's not true, well, then another thing happens. Now in this case we want to say if the direction is down, then something happens, and if not, well, then something else happens. And what do we want to happen? So if the user scrolls down like this, we want the sticky navigation to appear. And if the user scrolls up like this, then we want this to disappear. So we select the nav element, and then in jQuery we have this very handy method, and this is actually a jQuery method and has nothing to do with waypoints, and it is add class. And of course the class we want to add is sticky. So I will now remove this from here. We don't longer need this. So this is the original state. So when the user scrolls down, then this class sticky will be added. And the other way around, so if the user scrolls up, then remove the class. Remove class sticky. So I think this should work now. Here it's waypoint, not waypoints. And now let's go check this out. So this is the normal state again. So this is how it should look in a normal way. And now this works. So we scrolled past this place here, which is the beginning of the section, and then this appears like magic. This is very cool, right? But we want it even better, because, you know, when we come here, now there is no space between this navigation and this title here, so you want this to happen a little sooner. So let's say we want this to happen when we're here and not only down here. So we can easily do that here with this extension, and it's actually explained down here. So I'll just copy this and paste it here. So we can specify some offset here in %, but I will do this in pixels. So let's say 60 pixels. So this will happen 60 pixels before we hit this section that we defined. So let's check that as well. And yeah, so this happens at a cool place. And now from here on, this navigation always stays in place. Now, you saw something strange happen here, which was this one. So the navigation kind of is behind of the images, right? So I will have to show you yet one more CSS property, and that is actually also a kind of an important one, and it's this. Where is it? We have to say z index, and we set it to the maximum allowed, which is 9999, and the z index defines the vertical stacking of elements. So it's like a stack of elements, and now our sticky navigation will be always at the top. So this element will be on top of all the other elements because it has the highest possible value here. So let's check that out. So you see right now this is over all the other elements. So it's always on top. Great, this is exactly what we want. Now something weird happened here. I don't know exactly why this happened. We lost some space here that we had before. Let me check that. And yeah, of course. So I have a mistake here. So this is the way to go. So now it will be perfect. So original state, and once again with sticky navigation. So very powerful stuff, and we will actually use this waypoint plugin later again because it allows us to make some cool stuff with it. So I hope you'll like this lecture, and next up we will learn how to actually scroll to the different sections when we click on these links here. So stay tuned.